can.
They?
Hey, boy! Oh! Hey!
I should have videotaped.
Come on, get up! Get up!
What is your opinion on bullying?
It's not a good thing. You guys shouldn't do it. It's stupid.
It's absolutely stupid. No reason.
You do it if you have no brain cells, is my opinion.
Bullying is usually caused by being bullied yourself. It's passing on.
They don't understand how bad it is. It can cause mental trauma.
Mental trauma, physical trauma, emotional trauma.
All the traumas.
Bullying is something that should not exist in my opinion because no one deserves such harsh comments or harsh treatments, especially if you're a kid and like you get treated like poop already if you're like getting bullied at your house or at school. So
I think it's really bad. Seeing people treat each other like they don't even care. When people trying to make fun of them. I went through that when I was a kid. Well, when I was in middle school, I hated it. It made me stoop down to their level.
Bullying is a very overlooked issue in schools, which is ironic since it isn't uncommon at all. It happens almost every day, but it's rarely dealt with unless it gets to the point of yelling and physical fighting. But it shouldn't even go to that extent. It needs to be stopped whenever it starts. Especially since bullying isn't just the cliche of a bigger kid stealing a little kid's lunch money. It's much more casual than that. Things such as talking trash about someone, especially whenever they're present, and spreading rumors, and tripping people, and just making very hurtful comments, those count as bullying too. And even if it isn't physical harm, the effects are still very negative. Bully victims can become paranoid, depressed, socially withdrawn, and they can even become suicidal. And because most bullying is done to make others laugh, the people who are being bullied start to feel like they're a joke, and it really kills their self-esteem. And not to mention, the stress can lead to forgetfulness and insomnia. But it's also very hard for victims to just stop the bullying themselves because they might be scared of saying something stupid or getting in trouble. So it really needs to just be more paid attention to, because schools should feel safe and comfortable and not like someone's constantly judging you.
On the crust and deep fried. This is like a heart attack on a plate, but it is so. You're back. Wow.
is your name Katie? Have you ever tried tennis before? You haven't? Have you ever wanted to? Do you want to smoke it with me? It's so good. You're gonna love it. There's nothing. It doesn't clog your lungs. It's not like a cigarette or anything like that. It's better. It's so good. Sure. Try it.
What do you think of people that succumb to peer pressure?
I think it's natural because in a setting of school, it's very common to see people succumb to peer pressure from students, from teachers, deadlines. It's not fun to do, but it happens. It's how society runs.
Most people want to be accepted by their peers. They want to be liked by everybody. So they do what they have to do.
The social norm.
Peer pressure to me is basically easy description. If everyone else is doing it, you do it. That's basically the easiest description I think of. I haven't succumbed, but I have seen other people, and it generally leads down a much darker path than it starts. So
I feel that peer pressure is just a way for people who've done wrong in their lives to get other people to do wrong. And I have not gone along with peer pressure, but I know plenty of people who have fallen into peer pressure and done what the rest of people have.
Just because your friends do something does not mean you should do it. Don't conform to them, especially if they're pressuring you into bad things or things you aren't comfortable with or don't want to do. Just don't listen. Be your own person.
I've seen many people be forced to do something because of peer pressure, and I myself have when I was younger, which is something that was really stupid, and nothing good came out of it at all.
Peer pressure is an influence from friends, family, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, someone who's close to you, someone who's not close to you. It's when they pressure you into doing something that you are not comfortable with, something that's outside your comfort zone. Peer pressure can involve a lot of things, but in my personal opinion, the two main things you hear about with peer pressure is either sexual peer pressure or drug peer pressure. I have experienced drug peer pressure. I had been going through a very tough time my 8th grade year, and I became friends with someone who wasn't exactly the best person for me. She was friends with a lot of older people. She did a lot of things that I usually wouldn't ever do, you know, things that were outside my comfort zone. But I put all that behind me and just was like, you know, whatever, you know, what people say about her isn't true, you know, I'm not gonna get into the stuff that she does, you know, we're just friends. Well, I went over to her house one day, you know, upset because I'd just gotten out of an argument with my mom. And she pulled me into her room and was like, you know, I can give you something to ease your pain, help you out. I was like, okay, what is it? And she pulled out a joint out of her pocket. She had told me that she had been smoking for years and that it never affected her. She never had black lungs, never got sick from it. It didn't age her, didn't make her stink. You know, she was perfectly fine, you know. I was scared. I was definitely scared. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to say no because, I mean, that was my best friend, you know. I didn't want to seem uncool. And at that point in time, doing drugs, smoking marijuana was cool. It was the new in. And I wanted to be popular. I wanted to be cool. I didn't want to lose my friend, you know. I was willing to do anything. The first thought and mental picture in my head that popped up when I first saw her inhale it was my grandmother. You know, my grandma has been smoking for years, and you know, she's not in the best condition because of it. And she literally looks like disgusting because of it. And it made me sick just watching my friend smoke something like that. You know, I understand that, you know, it may not have the same effects as a cigarette, but I mean, still, I didn't want to do it. I wasn't comfortable with it. And then that's when I told her, hey, look, I can't do this. She sat there and laughed at me, told me, how weak are you? You're such a baby, you can't smoke one joint. Yeah, she called me a loser, said that how could she be friends with someone who couldn't be like her. She said that I was being childish. She told me that I would never be cool calling you all these mean names all because you won't do something that they want to do. It hurts, you know. That's supposed to be your friend. That's supposed to be the person who guides you, you know, not tears you down. And that's what she did. She tore me down. I left that day feeling upset because, yeah, me and my friend had gotten into a fight. But at least I didn't do something I didn't want to do. I didn't let her pressure me into doing something like that. I just walked out. I told her, you know what, fine. I'm done. I can't do this anymore. And I just left. I didn't want to do it, you know. So I definitely think I made the right decision. And that's how peer pressure affected me.
What do you believe self-image is, and do you yourself have poor self-image?
I feel like self-image is how you feel about yourself overall. I used to. It's getting better. It's definitely improved since since I moved here and everything. I used to have like an awful self-image for a long time, and it was kind of just my putting so much pressure on myself, but it's definitely improved.
It's how you view yourself and like what you see yourself doing. And basically in high school, they have poor self-image because of what social media says and magazines. Honestly, for me, not really, but if someone pushes me to that point, it will get to that.
Self-image is something that you look at yourself as beautiful, cute, ugly, troll. Like, honestly, I think I'm really good with self-image. I think everyone looks good. I think I look good. I think we all look equal.
Self-image is the way you perceive and view yourself, and I personally have a very negative self-image. Like, even if people were to tell me I'm pretty or skinny, quotation marks, then I just don't believe it because I don't perceive myself that way. But in reality, you should always, always, always maintain a positive self-image, even if it's hard, because you just need to live a positive life that way.
Well, my self-image is fairly negative because of what people have said about me, and I just can't get over it, I guess, and I just will continue to think about myself that way.
I feel that the only reason people see themselves the way they do is because of how many times other people have told them that they are that way. And I don't have a negative self-image, but it is definitely not of great standing.
Self-image is your identity. It's who you make yourself to be. When you make your identity, you're not looking for people to laugh at it or reject you. You're doing it for yourself. You dress how you want to, you act how you want to, and you hang out with the group of friends that you want to. Everything that you do based off of your image should be for you and not for others. Saying that, you shouldn't judge yourself. You shouldn't take your looks and compare it to theirs. They might be going through the same self-image problems that I have or am going through. And when you're having issues like that and you're going through those times, you can't really think too much of it because you're making yourself how you want to be. And I have had a self-image problem, well, during the first day of last semester, my sophomore year, and I was just standing away from the other classmates because I didn't know anyone, and I was just reading. I was dressed in a black jacket and skinny jeans. So later to come find out that one of the girls told the people to not talk to me or not involve themselves with me was because I was weird. She didn't even know me. And it hurts when that happens because you don't put yourself out there or make your identity for them to just wreck it, you know? You can't, I don't know, it was just difficult for me at first to try to put myself out there because you don't know how people are going to react. I mean, I have a strong personality, and when you don't know me, I can't come off how I normally am because I don't want to overwhelm them. But that day, I guess because I was quiet and I was reading, they just
Well, she thought that I wasn't one of the cool kids, that I didn't fit in. And even after she said that, this girl came up to me and introduced herself to me like I was any normal person. And that really made me notice that not everybody thinks like that. And I mean, it's human nature to just go and judge people, but taking how they look and who they hang out with and just taking that and basing them off of that, it's not right. And sometimes you just need to go up to that person that's sitting by themselves, or go up to that person that doesn't fit in, and just introduce yourself. Self-image to me isn't a big deal. I'm gonna wear what I want to wear. I'm gonna act how I want to act. And I'm gonna be who I want to be. And I'm not gonna let some kid that I don't even know try to alter that for me. Because who I am now is who I want to be later on in life. Most of those kids that we see in high school that we are friends with and hang out with and go to parties with and just kick it, you know? We're not going to see them in college. You may see a few, but if they act how they act then, what's going to stop them from judging you to the new college seniors or college juniors? What's going to stop them from judging you just how you judged me, or the quiet kid that likes to go to the library during lunch or doesn't talk to anybody much? Who knows? Those kids, the quiet ones, the outsiders, they could change everything. They could help you out in life. They could save you during a time of need. You can't take outside looks as a big deal. You can't judge somebody off of that. Personality, that is the most important thing that you can judge somebody off of. Because who knows, that hot chick, the #1 queen bee of your school, she can have a very ugly personality. She can think that she's the most beautiful girl in the world, and who knows, she may be. But looks don't get you anywhere. You're not gonna go to college and get freaking, who knows, be like the president off of looks. You gotta have more than that. You gotta be. Self-image is kind of what you want it to be. It's what you make it, not what people think it is, not what they try to make it. Your personality, your self-image, identity is yours. That's what I have to say about self-image.